Greetings and welcome to my Sonic Universe issue 92 review. Before we dive into the chaotic swashbuckling adventure, let's recap the previous issue. Lieutenant Echo of Meropis hired the detectives to help track down the underwater city's missing princess Undina. A lead has the group driving towards the knives, a known pirate hangout since the princess was last seen with them. They literally run into Razor, who's conducting his own search. And before they wonder why he happens to be at the knives, pirates arrived and captured everyone. The issue begins with Vector romanticizing the situation again, before we cut back to reality. The Chaotix introduce themselves before attacking the pirates. Well, Vector and Espio attack, the bees just hanging in the back. The princess's presence distracts Echo enough for Razor to take her hostage. Remember Razor's pirate backstory I mentioned last time? Well, these are indeed his former crewmates, and he wants to rejoin them because he's sorry and Meropis treats him horribly. He hopes the Chaotix will also surrender. Notice the bold emphasis on certain words. Vector realizes this and surrenders, even offering to join the crew on behalf of the Chaotix. Why not? Their detective work yields lousy pay. Charmy and Espio are unsure about this, but Vector pulls the word emphasis on Espio and he reluctantly agrees to join. Charmy just rolls with it because Charmy. The captain, Shellbreaker, is doubtful about these potential new recruits, plus letting Razor rejoin the crew. However, Mr. Bristles, the big guy, points out they're a bit short-handed thanks to another former pirate, Abyss, leaving and taking a good chunk of the crew with her. And yes, I mean this Abyss. So the captain welcomes the Chaotix and Razor to the crew, under close watch mind you. Echo, having not taken word emphasis courses during her guard training, thinks everyone betrayed her. The princess could order her to join the crew, but she doesn't want to compromise Echo's honor, and instead ransoms her so she can go home. Echo's then placed in the brig and out of the issue. Shellbreaker orders Vector and the princess, who I'll call Dina from now on, below while everyone else gets acquainted. We get another flashback, this time explaining why Dina left the university and started traveling. She found school boring. I know the feeling. But traveling can be expensive. Fortunately, she ran into Honey the cat. They hung out for a while, allowing Dina enough money to begin traveling. Someone eventually recognized her, i.e. the pirates, and she was held hostage for ransom. But she's still with them. Why? Well, the pirates have a bunch of old sea charts that need translating. Dina's priestess training allows her to read them, and the pirates keep her around. Back on deck, Espio and Charmy chat with Mr. Bristles and Opal the jellyfish. The red female shark is Blade, and she's Razor's sister. Yeah. Backstory courtesy of Mr. Bristles reveals the two found their way to the knives to steal from the pirates, but they took them in anyway. Oh hi Abyss. The chat with the siblings reveals the disagreement Razor had with the crew. They stole medical supplies people desperately needed, and sold those people the supplies at a hefty price. Despite the ugly history, Blade is grateful Razor's back. But is Razor's return sincere? Shellbreaker tells the crew of their destination, and they split off to do certain tasks. Vector and the guy he attacked earlier are securing the car for when the ship dives underwater. Speaking of dive, that's this guy's name, and he joined the crew because he loves the sea. Okay. Espio goes to Dina to explain that the Chaotix aren't really joining the crew. They still plan to rescue her. They're unsure about Razor's involvement, except that he's here because of Coral. Dina realizes Echo's not in on the act. Espio assures Dina that the Chaotix will get her and Echo out. Dina, however, doesn't want to leave. She translates the charts to different locations, and she gets free travel. This could be a problem. In the crew bunk, the Chaotix discuss the current situation, and they still need a plan. Hopefully they'll have one before the ship reaches its destination tomorrow. Aside from the brief struggle in the beginning, there's not that much action in this issue, which to me is good. The previous issue also had no action, focusing more on setup and character bits. This issue continues that, with us getting to know the pirates a little. They have their own code and a sense of family, which makes any sort of betrayal hard on them. Razor's, to us at least, was understandable. Stealing medical supplies intended for the needy, only to turn around and sell them to the needy? At least Razor had a bigger moral code than, say, Abyss, who joined Eggman and took most of the pirates with her. Mr. Bristle said they had pirate fleets back in the day. Now they are reduced to one ship and a limited crew. We finally meet Princess Dina. She has like this Valley Girl accent, for sure. Oh my god. Let's look at her situation from her point of view. She was sheltered for a good portion of her life and went to Spagonia University. She got bored and wanted to see the world. If I were to speculate, she probably saw the world's wonders in various books and wanted to see them in person. I'm sure a lot of us have been there, wanting to see the sights of a certain place up close and personal. But there's that one obstacle we all face when it comes to travel: money. Dina solved that issue when she hooked up with Honey the Cat for a while. Please note the plans for a certain water umbrella on Honey's pad. When she joined the pirates, she was able to translate charts that took them to different places, which is something Dina wanted: free travel. And as SBO pointed out, she's being used. And once her usefulness is up, it could get bad for her. And Dina's not worried about that. She might be naive to this because, again, she was raised a sheltered princess. You have to feel sorry for Echo. She failed to understand the old world emphases, nods, and winks Razor and the Chaotix employed, and now she's stuck in the brig. The Chaotix are in a better position to help, but if Shellbreaker finds out they aren't sincere about becoming pirates, that could be a problem. Before I give my final score, I want to ask my viewers, what species does Mr. Bristles and Dive belong to? And possibly Dina. Opal, I assume, is a jellyfish, Blade's a shark, and the only reason I know Shellbreaker's an otter was due to those groan-worthy puns. This issue gets an 8. It's slower, focusing more on character bits, but there's a cloud of danger forming, plus there are questions lurking about. What if the Chaotix are exposed as frauds? Where does Razor's true loyalties lie? And what is Shellbreaker and crew's ultimate goal with those charts? Hopefully they'll be answered within the next 2 parts. Until then, have a good day, and be safe. Cereal for dinner. Admit it, we all did it at some point in our lives.